continuing to follow our breaking news for you.
Let's check back in with Fox 35's Marley Capper. She is live outside the Lake County Courthouse. I know that you listened in just as we did. Anything stand out to you, Marley, as we say good morning?
Good morning to both of you. Well, first of all, I've been covering law enforcement my entire career. This is the first time I've ever seen a sheriff in orange behind bars. That was really jarring. Some other things that came out of this that I want to mention at the get-go is he asked how the bond process works. So that was an interesting fact for me. Let's kind of run down, if you missed our coverage, I want to kind of go over the facts of what just happened. First of all, former Sheriff Marcos Lopez was in the jail. His attorney was with the judge and the state attorney. They were all located via Zoom. So that's how they were all meeting together. The state basically came forward with the evidence. Papakos is the attorney there. She mentioned text messages, wire transfers, fake businesses, over $700,000 in text evidence, screenshots of slot machines, pictures. They were talking about how he has sourced new locations for potential activity. So these are all things. I think something's happening behind us here, so I'm going to step out of the way. But these are some things that they brought up here. Now, they asked the court before posting bail that he can provide proof that any money used for bail was from non-criminal sources. So let's just kind of go over what they were asking for. The state asked for an electric GPS monitor, that he can turn in his passports, turn in his firearm because of the 2 first-degree felony charges. They wanted $600,000 bond per charge, which is a total of $1.2 million. After that happened, the defense came in and said, hey, listen, $600,000 is too high. They would like to ask for something more affordable. They said $25,000 per count, $50,000 total, is something that the family could afford. They said that while he was publicly elected, that they were hoping that he could have his name and his title as sheriff be separated, that he be tried as a normal person. They didn't think that he needed to give up his passport or his firearms, but at the end of the day, the judge said that they were going to have it be $500,000 per charge, which is $1 million total for bond, that they were going to require a GPS monitor, that he was going to be required to surrender any firearms to FDLE. He was going to be required to surrender his passport, all within 72 hours, mind you, and he would have no contact with the co-defendant. The judge set his next hearing at June 30th. His attorney did ask if he could have a bond hearing set for today. So like Danielle mentioned earlier, I'm assuming he wants bond quickly. So we will be following that as well. The judge said that she didn't know the other judge's schedule or how quickly he could get those things done. So we're waiting to learn more about the process as far as when he could post bond, excuse me. And then the other thing too is the defense attorney said that because he has a job as the sheriff, or he does have proof that he has money from other entities. So that's really going to be the ticker here, is if the family can post bail and can prove to the court that this money has no ties to any criminal activity. So a lot just happened. I know I just spewed off a lot, and this is all coming in, new information that we're learning, and you guys watched it with us. And so, ladies, I think the most shocking thing for me is, one, seeing him in that orange jumpsuit, and then 2, hearing him ask the questions and hearing the judge, ultimately saying that he was going to have $1 million bond for these 2 charges.
I wanted to ask you, because one of the things you had said, oh, there's some activity behind me, maybe there's somebody walking in. Have you seen any of his friends or family or anybody else going in, perhaps in support of him? Because obviously he can't have any contact with any of kind of the co-defendants, but certainly they did mention that he could have contact, obviously, with his friends and family.
Right. As far as people walking in, I just saw the 2 people. It could have potentially been his attorney because, as you know, the attorney was with the judge and she had some troubles getting in. So that's who I believe was walking in, was his defense attorney. So they are going to meet. She's going to talk to him about the next steps. She's going to walk him through what that bond process looks like. As far as family, I didn't see. It was too far across the street, Danielle, to see if it was maybe a wife or a family member. But as far as people showing up, I haven't seen any really activity this morning. As you know, like you mentioned, no co-conspirators, no co-defendants are able to have any communication with him at this time. So we're going to be on the lookout to see if there's any more activity or any more people are walking in. We'll definitely try to see if we can talk to the defense attorney when she inevitably comes out.
Marley, thank you so much for updating us and giving us kind of a recap of what just happened here. As we've been chatting with you, by the way, we've been watching just that video pulled up of Lopez in the beginning of this court hearing, and it's been so interesting, as you mentioned, to see him in that jumpsuit. But not only that, he had a contrite voice. He had his head down most of the time. It's going to be very interesting as this case continues to see what he's going to be like throughout this case.
Yeah, it was definitely interesting to watch. I was kept flipping from the pages on Zoom. When you're on your phone, you can have like the main speaker talking, or you can kind of swipe to the crowd. So I was going back and forth between trying to get the judge's face and the DA's face and reaction, and then swiping to his. And he just kind of had this contrite look, like you mentioned, head down, processing everything. I was really, quite frankly, surprised that he asked how the bond process works, being someone that's been elected 2 times now as a sheriff. So that was very interesting to have him, one, speak at all. That was interesting to hear. And then, of course, it's very interesting to me that he was asking how this process worked when he's been in the legal system for quite a while now.
$500,000 bond on each of those 2 felony charges. Marley Capper, I know that you'll stay on top of this story, as will we here at Fox 35. We appreciate you. Thank you.